Alrighty, good morning, my friends. Thank you so much for being here, or good afternoon. It's 12:06 p.m. here on the East Coast, so I appreciate everybody watching and joining me. My name's CJ. This is the CJ Curry Show. It's the best, the biggest live NBA player props show presented by PrizePicks. I appreciate you guys for helping make it the biggest and the best live NBA player prop show on PrizePicks. If you're not subscribed yet, get your butt over to the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you turn on notifications so you don't miss me when I go live. And then slap that like button. We're going to be doing another giveaway today. We've been doing giveaways every single day. Here's how you get qualified for the giveaway. All you have to do, make sure you're a subscriber. Make sure you have liked today's video. And once the replay of today's live show goes up on YouTube, leave a comment with your favorite player prop of the day. All right, and then I'll randomly select one of you guys from the comment section of the replay of today's stream, and you'll win a two-pick, a risk-free two-pick to score $100 over on PrizePicks. So shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring the show. Thank you so much for allowing me to do these giveaways for everybody who's watching and supporting. So if you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, it's a great time to sign up. 100% instant deposit match using promo code CURRY. It's the only promo code out there that'll get you a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. That's not true, but I would like it if you use my promo code, okay? Link down in the description below for everything from our Discord. Patreon is a good way to support the community and be a part of a community of like-minded individuals who are focused on sharing information, sharing research, and helping each other win. So if you want to be a part of that community, Patreon link down in the description below. And there's a link for you to sign up for PrizePicks if you have not yet. Yesterday was kind of, I don't know, we'll call it wishy-washy, we'll call it shaky, we'll call it average at best, right? There was a lot of guys that sold out. Ja Morant's PRA did not hit. De'Aaron Fox's PRA did not hit. Christian Wood for points and rebounds did not hit. Spencer Dinwiddie fell short on his points. He just wasn't making any shots. Then you had, who was the other one? I took Jimmy Butler under 23.5 points. Hadn't scored more than 23.5 points since 2015 against the Golden State Warriors. What does he come out and do? He's knocking down threes. He's looking like a rejuvenated, renewed man all of a sudden. He did something that hadn't been done in over 7 years against the Golden State Warriors. All right, so he came out of nowhere and was draining some buckets, but it wasn't all bad. We did land on some winning picks that we discussed yesterday. Domantas Sabonis over 4.5 assists, even over 5.5 assists. If you took that, you definitely cashed. Luka Doncic over everything. I had him going over his first half fantasy score. He crushed that. We talked about going over his rebounds plus assists. He absolutely crushed that. I had Bam Adebayo going over PRA against the Golden State Warriors. He ended up hitting that. So it wasn't all bad. That's why I say it was just kind of wishy-washy, right? Like, yeah, we could have had better results. Hopefully tonight, with 11 games on today's NBA slate, we do have better results. We'll get back to the grind today. So I appreciate everybody joining me. Thank you for all the support. Seriously, we passed 6,400 subscribers. We're on our way to 6,500, and then it's all the way up. Nothing can stop us. We're all the way up. We're going to 7,000 subscribers before you know it. Appreciate everybody for subscribing. Speaking of, Vlad, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you, Mr. Moisa, for subscribing to the channel. Let's run through the chat real quick. MF June leaving the fire emojis. He's ready to get it going. Roy's in the building. Let's go. Official M23 dog. He won a risk-free two-pick power play to score $100 on PrizePicks yesterday. That was from yesterday's show. So shout out to official M23 dog for winning that. Congratulations, my friend. We got Game is Life in here. He says he's waiting, leaving the thumbs up. Appreciate you. Locks over likes says, I lost yesterday. I need 2 locks. Straight props. I'm dropping the house on it. Don't drop the house on it. Don't do that. Only bet what you can afford to lose. Only risk what you're willing to lose. You may not see that money again, all right? There's no such thing as locks. You know that. You better know that. Mark H says, what's up, y'all? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to you. It is Flex Friday, by the way. PrizePicks does a little promotion every single Friday. Flex Friday should be happening today. JY says, happy Friday, gang. 11 games tonight, plus the World Series in Houston tonight. Let's freaking go, Phillies. No Limit Chino was also on some Bam Adebayo over PRA. Shout out to you. That one did cash. San Von's in the building, leaving the cash emojis. He's ready to get the bag. He's ready to get the bag. Jimmy Green says, it's Friday. Let's cash big, gang. Love that energy. D'Angelo's in the building. Shout out to you, D'Angelo. Thanks for being here each and every day. Appreciate the support. Dribblel says, Jeremy Grant points. All right. Hey, if you guys got picks and props that you want me to take a look at, I'm going to talk about a few that I've found across the industry. I've been poking around on Twitter and some various sites. I found a few picks. We'll talk about those, and then I'll take your questions. So if you have any picks that you want me to look at, I'll do the research for you. I'll help you put in the work. And we'll take a closer look at some of the picks that you guys are liking. Just hold off on those so I don't have to scroll through the chat and find them. Hang on. After I'm done doing my part, we'll switch things and kick it over to you. And then we'll talk about your picks, all right? Everyday Fantasy came through yesterday with the Super Chat pick. My man's been hitting those Super Chats. If you have not kept up with the Super Chats that Everyday Fantasy leaves when he joins the live stream, my man is making money, all right? He says, what a do, gang. New day, new money. Streak is still alive. You flex. I gotta flex back, especially on Flex Friday on PrizePicks. Bigs up to the chef and to the Patreon gang. Yeah, Patreon, man. I love it. The community we've built, it's not possible without you guys, straight up. It's been fantastic. You guys are helping us cash out day in and day out. Shout out to Effin' Props Guy, by the way, our hockey guru. He went 4 for 5 on hockey picks yesterday. He was our community MVP. I'll be sending him a free entry to win $100 for as a token of my appreciation and gratitude for his winning picks. Michael T says, happy Halloween. We ain't quite there yet, but we'll take it. Early happy Halloween. Desmond's in the building. Kyle says, what's up? Ray says, Bojan, NBA first half everything versus the Hawks, redeeming myself from the last time. All right, Ray, we'll talk about that one. Remind me. Young Lito says, I need to work on my pairing because it sucks. It's not a pairing issue, man. It's just getting on the right side of the prop, right? It's really a two-step process on PrizePicks. We got to get on the right side of the more or the less, all right? So maybe that just requires a little bit more digging, a little bit more research. Some of it's just plain old bad luck or good luck, right? But we got to maybe put in a little bit more effort into the research, all right? It's not bad pairing. You're just not on the right side of the over or under, the more or the less on the picks. There's no such thing as bad pairing, but there is a such thing as bad picks or being on the wrong side of the pick. So we got to do a better job of that. I mean, just get all your picks right and then you'll win everything, right? Sounds easy, but we all know that it's a little bit harder than that sounds. Pick 3 Lover says, what's up, CJ? Let's keep the W's coming. Rumsey's in the building. He won a free entry a couple days ago. Shout out to Rumsey. He's back trying to get another one. Neville, what's up, brother? Kyle's here. He says, it's the best show. I appreciate you, Kyle. James, Sabonis and Luka was easy money. Faux show. Kwame's here. Lots of opportunity tonight. Let's go. Juju Splash. What's up, Juju Splash? You're liking some Desmond Bane. Oh, Desmond Bane last night. Yeah, Desmond Bane was that guy. Desmond Bane was doing his thing. Who else we got in here? Running through these real quick. Ivory's in the building. Shout out to you. Mike from the Fours. Man, I miss you. We got to get you back in the Patreon, man. I don't like seeing you on the outside looking in, bro. That blue don't look good on you in Discord. We got to get that red back on you. C. Chab. Yes, locks are the band from Brooklyn. Damn right. Chic Luch, Styles P, Jada Kiss. The only locks that I acknowledge. There ain't no locks in this sports betting game. That's for damn sure. But yeah, shout out to everybody else. If I missed anybody, man. Not my intention. You know, I got love for everybody who shows up and supports. So let's get down to business. Now, you guys know that I normally play Pirtle, but we're switching it up today. We're going to do Dribble. So if you guys don't know about Dribble, you're about to find out. I'm choking on this water, by the way. That's better. We'll work through it. All right, so how do you play Dribble? Well, you got to connect 2 NBA players through 6 or fewer mutual teammates. For this example, they've got Steph Curry and LeBron James. So we got to connect Steph Curry to LeBron James. All right, and we get 6 guesses to do this. So like guess 1 would be Kevin Durant, which is a valid guess because Kevin Durant played with Steph Curry, but he's never played with LeBron, so the game continues. Guess 2 was Kevin Love, which was a bad guess because he's never played with Kevin Durant, all right? But guess 3 was Kyrie Irving. which is a valid guess because he's played with Kevin Durant, and it's also a winning guess because he's played with LeBron James. So that's how the game goes. Let's see whose dribble players of the day are. So we got Russell Westbrook. Obviously, he's still in the league, but he's been around a long time, so he's played with a lot of different teams, meaning he's played with a lot of different teammates. We need to connect him with Buddy Hield, who has been with, Sacramento and Indiana, so he's only played with 2 teams. Now, my first inclination is, who's a player that both of these guys have played with? That's where my mind instantly goes. Now, they may not have any mutual teammates whatsoever. They may not have any mutual teammates. But that's where my mind usually goes. Sometimes you got to go through 2 or 3 guys just to make that connection. But I think I already know the answer to this one, gang. What are your guesses? Anthony Davis, New Orleans, and LA? I think we could get there in less guesses than Anthony Davis. Did Anthony Davis play with Buddy Hield? Damn right. Christian Ramirez is on it. He is on it. That is exactly who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Domantas Sabonis back when Russell Westbrook played with OKC. All right. And then we have Domantas Sabonis, obviously with Sacramento. He played with Buddy Hield in Sacramento, didn't he? Or did he not? I was thinking Domantas Sabonis. Let's go with Sabonis real quick. Boom. One guess. All it took, one guess, and we got it right. Yeah, we were on it, man. Christian Ramirez. All it took was one guess. Domantas Sabonis was the right guess. They were traded for each other, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they were. No, they weren't in the same. No, they weren't in the trade, were they? Damn, you might be right. But anyway, we got it right. That's exactly where my mind went, though, was Domantas Sabonis. So we ended up getting it right in just one guess. We didn't even need 6 guesses. But Anthony Davis, you're saying could have been a possible guess, too? All right. Shout out to you then. All right, let's get into today's NBA slate, guys. We got 11 games, a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. Let's run through it together. Atlanta at Detroit, tipping off at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Bogdan Bogdanović is still out for Atlanta. He's been out to start the season. For the Detroit Pistons, keep an eye on Jaden Ivey. We're still trying to see what's happening with Jaden Ivey. We could take a look at him real quick. It looks like he is questionable as of right now for his game against Atlanta. He's dealing with a non-COVID illness. If he does not play, then you can expect Killian Hayes, Corey Joseph, and Hamidou Diallo to see increased minutes. All right, so keep an eye on Jaden Ivey. That's a big piece of news. Cade Cunningham had a very good game in that last game. Jaden Ivey sat out. So there's one piece of injury news from that game. That one's got a 228.5 point total. These teams just faced each other one game ago, so they're kind of doing a run it back rematch type of game. Charlotte at Orlando, there weren't any PrizePicks props up yet for this game. I think they're waiting to see what's going to happen with guys like Martin and Rozier, right? And then over on the Orlando Magic side, Cole Anthony apparently injured his oblique and he is out. That is going to leave the Orlando Magic backcourt very thin, especially at the point guard position. It's going to be R.J. Hampton more than likely starting at point guard. You might see some Franz Wagner serving as a point forward. My Orlando Magic are hurt, y'all. No Jalen Suggs, Markelle Fultz, or Cole Anthony. It was one of our deepest positions to start the season. Now it's one of our weakest, thinnest positions. Anyway, as of right now, 220 point total with a 2-point spread. So keep an eye on that game. Lots of impactful potential injury news there. For Cleveland at Boston, this one's got just a 217.5 point total. That is a low total with a spread of 6.5 points. Darius Garland, Ricky Rubio, and Devin Windler still out for the Cleveland Cavaliers. For Boston, Gallinari, Robert the Time Lord Williams, and Grant Williams. Grant Williams has been suspended for one game because he came in contact with an NBA official. I think it was accidental contact. I don't think it was anything that was malicious or harmful. But nonetheless, Grant Williams is out tonight for Boston. So they're going to be a little thin in the front court. Al Horford, Jason Tatum may see increased minutes and increased run. You'll have Noah Vonleh and Blake Griffin possibly getting more run off of the bench for the Boston Celtics as well. All right, let's scroll down here. Take a look at Indiana at Washington. That one tips off at 7:30. These teams have already played each other once. It was the opening night game, I believe, for both of these teams back on October 19th. So they're running it back. A few games under their belts now. They're going to clash again. 229-point total. Pretty high total with a 5.5-point spread. I've got at least one pick from this game that I've got my eye on. And we'll talk about that one in just a moment. Philadelphia and Toronto, they just got into it, right? They just played one another. Joel Embiid, Pascal Siakam, both from Cameroon, both with a friendly little rivalry. They'll be button heads once again tonight. Just 213 points from this game, though, guys. I don't know if you saw it, but the Philadelphia 76ers are playing at the slowest pace of any team in the last 5 or 6 years or something like that. No team has played at a slower pace in the last 5 or 6 years than the Philadelphia 76ers are this season. So very slow paced team, which is why the total is just 213. But it's a tight spread, 1.5. So just be careful with this game. I wouldn't go too heavy on any overs from this one. Low totals mean less shots going up, right? Less possessions, less shots, less rebound opportunities, less assist opportunities, and so on and so forth. So just kind of be careful with taking any overs from that one. 8 p.m. New York Knicks at the Milwaukee Bucks. No Quentin Grimes for New York. Over on the Milwaukee side, Connaughton, Ingles, and Middleton still out for the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks are 3-0. The Knicks are 3-1. I got a pick from this game that we're going to be talking about from the New York Knicks side in just a moment. LA at Minnesota, 229.5 points. Huge total from this game, 7.5-point spread, which favors the T-Wolves. Sad to see it, man. The Los Angeles Lakers are in deep doo-doo. I mean, they are 0-4, and there's a very real chance tonight that they'll end up 0-5. You got a lot of GTDs from this game on the Lakers side, game time decisions. Their big three, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, all game time decisions. Russ did sit out in the last game. He's been dealing with a strained hamstring. But LeBron and AD, we've seen on the injury report for the last couple of games, they ended up suiting up and they ended up taking the floor. But yes, it's a sad time to be a Lakers fan, gang. Sad time to be a Lakers fan right now. I don't know what it's going to take to turn this team around. Maybe it's getting rid of Russell Westbrook. I don't know. There's been rumors that Westbrook to the Hornets for a package of Oubre and Gordon Hayward, possibly. I don't know if the Hornets would do that. Why would they bring him in with LaMelo Ball pretty much as their future at point guard? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Yes, Westbrook has some ties through the Jordan brand to Michael Jordan himself, the owner of the Charlotte Hornets, but I don't know. I just don't see it. All right. Anyway, Kyle Anderson is a game time decision for the Minnesota T-Wolves. T-Wolves have been a team that I have completely avoided taking any props on because I cannot trust them. I don't trust the Minnesota Timberwolves. If you've kept up with any of their game logs, you know from game to game, they are very unpredictable. One game, Rudy Gobert will lead the team in scoring. Then Anthony Edwards will pop off. And then Karl Anthony Towns has just been an enigma this season. Hard to figure out, so I'm staying away from the Minnesota T-Wolves. Anyway, Chicago at San Antonio. Zach LaVine is a game-time decision. He did play in the last game. Maybe he suits up tonight. If he does, I think there's a lot of goodness here from this particular matchup, Chicago and San Antonio. 229 points. 4.5-point spread. Both of these teams typically like to play fast. San Antonio especially. They got a bunch of young gunners, a bunch of fresh young legs out there. Devin Vassell will not be playing for San Antonio tonight. So Keldon Johnson, Josh Richardson should see a bump in usage. So that'll be a fun one. Utah at Denver, 229.5 points, one of the highest totals on tonight's slate. A lot of game time decisions. You got Walker Kessler, GTD, Colin Sexton, GTD. And then over on the Denver Nuggets side, keep an eye on KCP and especially Michael Porter Jr. If MPJ is out, Nikola Jokic makes for a fine play. I took Jokic over first half fantasy score the other night at 27.5 without Michael Porter Jr. That particular pick hits at a very high clip. NOP versus Phoenix. This one's got a 224-point total, 7.5-point spread. If you look at the New Orleans Pelicans side of things, guys, you see a lot of GTDs and you see a lot of guys that have ruled out. There's a lot of guys on the injury report for the Pelicans. All right. Alvarado, Daniels, Jones, McCollum, Zion Williamson, all game time decisions. Brandon Ingram already ruled out. Lewis and Liddell. So, I mean, potentially the Pelicans could have a pretty thin roster tonight. So you got to stay on top of the news. Maybe some value opens up for us. You may not see any props come out for that particular team or game until we start getting some of that news later on in the night. And then finally, one of the more fun games, I think, right here, Houston and Portland. Damian Lillard is out. This is the big piece of injury news from this game. Damian Lillard out. Something happened to Dame. I'm not sure if he's going to be out for a long time or if it's going to be a couple of games, but he is out. And there's a pick from the Portland side that kind of caught my eye, poking around on Twitter and stuff. And so we'll look at that one closer together. Also, keep an eye on the front court here for the Houston Rockets. Bruno Fernando has been out. If Alperen Şengün is out for Houston, that means Jabari Smith's going to man the middle. I don't think Jabari Smith can hold down Jusuf Nurkic. All right? Jusuf Nurkic is a bull. He's a brawler. All right? Jusuf Nurkic might have himself a big game against the young, frail, thin Jabari Smith. I'm just saying that could be one for us to kind of keep our eye out on. All right, let's get down to business here. Let's talk some prize picks. I got some plays already queued up. Doesn't look like any of them have been bumped yet. Our thumbnail player of the day is none other than Trae Young. And Trae Young just played the Detroit Pistons not that long ago. All right. 36.5 points plus assists is the way that we ended up taking him. At first, initially, I was thinking about taking his assists, but ended up going points plus assists. So I might go back to the well here. I might go back to the well on this particular pick. Let's look at it again together here. Trae Young going up against the Detroit Pistons had 35 points, just points on their own, just points, 35 points against the Pistons one game ago. In the last 5 games, he scored 23, 25, 28, and 35. So Trae starting to heat up. We're starting to see a little incline, right? Things are trending up as far as his points go, but we're talking about the points plus assists here. A number at 36.5 that he has covered now in 3 straight games and 3 out of 4 to start the season. That's a 75% hit rate. Now, I mentioned he just played Detroit in his last games with 41 points plus assists. He did not hit just his assist on their own. He only had 6 dimes in that game against the Pistons. So it was more of a scoring game for Trae Young and less of a dime dropping type of game. Now, he opened the season with 13 and 13 and then fell down to 9 and then fell down to 6. So that's why I like the points plus assists a little bit better at 36.5. Came close against Houston, and then he went off the next 3 games and went ahead and covered each and every one of those games. So here's what you're looking at here as far as minutes. Trae Young playing about 37.6 minutes, 36 minutes per game. So he's getting plenty of run. Not really somebody who gets into a ton of foul trouble, but I think this pick looks pretty good on the surface. Now, going back to last season against Detroit, he's played the Pistons total of 4 times from last season to this season. He's had 41 points plus assists in 2 out of the 4 games. And then we mentioned he just dropped 41 on him in that last game. Taking a look at some DVP information, defense versus position. How many points, rebounds, assists, etc. is a defense allowing to a given position? So in this case, Trae Young being a point guard going up against the Detroit Pistons. Guys, Pistons are giving up over 29.1 points per game to point guards, right? And they're giving up over 9 assists per game. That's like 38 plus points and assists per game. So I think Trae Young is obviously in a good spot here. Let's also look at the shooting guard spot, because with him and DeJounte Murray in the backcourt, these guys are kind of interchangeable. But nonetheless, still giving up a healthy amount of points at 22 to shooting guards and assists at nearly 7 per game, 6.8 to be exact. So I think we could run it back here with Trae Young. Now, if you want to just take his points, you could just take his points. But the reason I'm going points plus assists is the fact that he gets a lot of potential assists. Let's take a look at that. We're using the NBA Advanced Stats page. We're looking at the regular season. Click Advanced Filters. You could change this from all teams to just the Atlanta Hawks. Get your scroll on. Click Get Stats. And then you can see that Trae Young, through the first 4 games Atlanta has played, is leading the Hawks in potential assists per game at 15.8. So nearly 16 potential assists. So think of these as like a field goal attempt or a free throw attempt or a 3-point field goal attempt, right? Every potential assist is Another opportunity for him to get an actual assist, to convert on that potential assist. So he is averaging a healthy 10.3 assists per game, mostly being bolstered by those first two games where he had 13 dimes in games 1 and games 2 to start the season. But nonetheless, leading the Atlanta Hawks with 15.8 potential assists, and he's got a ceiling of 13 assists in the first few games that he's played. So things are looking pretty up here for Trae Young. Now let's get you a projection here. Trae Young's potential output, 37.5 points plus assists is his projection. He's at 36.5 on some books. He's as high as 37.5 on a site like PointsBet, meaning we're getting one potential point of value here with the points plus assists, meaning he is one lower on PrizePicks than he is on PointsBet, which is something we look for, right? We like the fact that PointsBet has him at 37.5 points plus assists because they think 37 to 38 points and assists is a possible outcome. Both numbers, 37 and 38, are higher than 36.5. So we like the fact that they have his line set the way that they do. Now, we talked about maybe you just take the pure points on Trae Young. He's at 27.5 points, right? Let's get you a projection on just the points by themselves. 28.8, not too shabby, but you're seeing him as low as 26.5 on a reputable sports book like DraftKings. You're seeing him at 27.5 on some of these other sports books. So you are paying a higher price, a premium at 27.5. You're not getting the hook a brother up deal at 26.5. If he is at 26.5, I feel a little bit better about it. So for me, I think I'm going to just stick with the points plus assists on Trae Young, and I think we can agree that the more would be the way to go. Now, if you don't agree, don't take the pick. Only take the pick if you agree. Guys, if you agree, leave a thumbs up in the chat. Let me know if you're liking the thumbs up, liking this pick by leaving a thumbs up in the chat. All right? That's the first one. Now, this next pick, I had to do some digging. I had to do a lot of digging to get this one as far as information goes. All right, we're talking Anthony Simons of the Portland Trail Blazers at 5 assists. Now, he's at 4.5 assists on a lot of sites out there. Let me pull up what I found here. What I had to do is use StatMuse, and I had to do a lot of digging on this prop here. Let me move over a little bit so you guys can see. All right, the games that are highlighted in yellow here, these games, this stretch of games here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games. There's a 13 game span here. These ones that are highlighted in yellow are games in which Anthony Simons played without Damian Lillard, who we know is ruled out tonight, and without CJ McCollum, who's no longer on the team. So we know he's not going to be there, right? So we got 13 games without Lillard. We got 13 games without McCollum. In those games, he had 5 or more assists in this many games, everything highlighted in green. So you got 6, 6, 6, 8, 5, 5, 11, 11, 6, or 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 out of 13 games with at least 5 assists or more without Lillard, without McCollum in the lineup. So Anthony Simons, for more than 5 assists, looks like a pretty decent way to go. Now, to start the season, you're going to look at his game logs. You're going to be like, ugh, those are ugly. Ugh, why would we take that? Ugh, that's nasty. He hasn't been dropping any dimes. Why would we want that? Well, let's bump him down to 4.5, all right? He's played 5 games so far. He's hit 5 or more in just 1 game. He did it against Denver. But as I mentioned, this is going to be without Damian Lillard. Lillard's been active for all of these games. When Lillard's off the floor, Simons will have the ball in his hands more. Let's look at this potential assists real quick and get a better picture of kind of, what Anthony Simons has been doing as far as potential assists. Where does he rank amongst the Portland Trail Blazers in potential assists per game? Well, he's 3rd right now. But again, a lot of that was with Damian Lillard. He played in every game, right? So 5 games played, 6 potential assists per game. That number will go up without Lillard and obviously without McCollum, who's no longer with the team. So I think that one looks like a pretty worthwhile pick. If you go and take a look at who he's playing tonight, it's the Houston Rockets, gang. And we know about the Houston Rockets. They played Atlanta on opening night, gave up a ton of assists to Trae Young. to DeJounte Murray. They played John Morant and Desmond Bane, gave up a bunch of assists to them. They played Mike Conley, gave up 5 or more assists to pretty much every point guard they've faced so far this season. The Houston Rockets are giving up over 11 assists per game to the point guard position, nearly 12 per game. That is the second most in the league as of right now. All right. Now, maybe you consider Josh Hart to be the point guard and Anthony Simons is the shooting guard. Well, let's look at that. Even still, they're giving up close to 6 assists per game to shooting guards. I think he's in great shape. The Houston Rockets are just giving it up to opposing backcourts, so I think Anthony Simons for more than 5 assists looks like a pretty decent look. Let's get you a projection on this one. Simons is projected for 5.3 dimes. He is at 5 on PrizePicks. He is at 5.5 on some sports books, 4.5 on other books. At 4.5, minus 145, minus 148, minus 150 betting favorite. Those are strong odds to go over 4.5. So maybe he ends up in a tie or a push. That could very well happen. But the fact that he's at 5.5 on some of these other sites makes me believe that their lines makers think that 5 to 6 assists is the outcome for Simons. All right. Are you guys liking this one? Let me know in the chat. I'll show you one more time those 13 games last season in which Lillard and McCollum was out. 13 games highlighted in yellow here. Of those 13 games, he covered this 5 or more assists in 10 of 13, for those of you who may have missed it. All right. So thank you to StatMuse for making our research a little bit more easy. But anyway, Trae Young over points and assists so far is what I'm looking at. And Anthony Simons over 5 assists is another one I'm looking at. Now, this guy is, he's a household name by now, right? Especially if you're playing props. We're talking about Tyrese Halliburton at 27.5 points plus assists. Now, you know I'm going to go more on Tyrese Halliburton. We've been hitting more on Tyrese Halliburton's points, his assists, and in this case, we're combining the points and assists, right? That's what I'm going to look to do. He's playing the Washington Wizards again, a team that he's already played this season. So let's pull up the points and assists category. Let's filter all the games. We just want to see Indiana versus Washington. And we'll click on Tyrese Halliburton's name. And when we click on his name, gang, we are greeted by green bars. We like green bars. Props.cash users, you know what I'm talking about. Green is good. And if you don't use Props.cash yet, 25% off your first month down in the description of today's video. But yes, Tyrese Halliburton at 27.5 points plus assists looking pretty good. If you could get it at 27.5, it looks good. If he's at 28.5, okay, maybe it gets a little bit more dicey. It'll probably get bumped, all right? If it hasn't been bumped yet, it probably will get bumped. You guys are saying it's been bumped already. You're saying it's at 33. Let's refresh. Let's refresh. Maybe you're onto something here. Let's look. Halliburton. Halliburton's still at 27.5 points plus assists. I think you're wrong, James. I think you're wrong. Sorry, buddy. Maybe you're looking at his PRA. But yeah, he's still at 27.5 points plus assists. So yes, don't worry about it, but it could get bumped up. Anyway, he's 5 for 5 to start the season, averaging 32.6 points plus assists. All right. And he played Washington already. He had 33 points plus assists against the Wizards. That's who he's facing again tonight. So I think we just keep running it back, right? Run the thing back. Getting healthy minutes per game, averaging 33 minutes per game to start the season. Doesn't get into a lot of foul trouble, which is what we like. That is what we like. Now, against the Wizards, he has now played them 4 times from last season back to this season. He is 2 out of 4, 50% hit rate. So yeah, Tyrese Halliburton's been pretty darn good. He's getting all the usage in the Indiana Pacers backcourt. He's got a nice little matchup against the Wizards tonight. Let's go take a look at some DVP numbers here. So we go find the Washington Wizards and see how many points they've been giving up to opposing point guards. Scroll down, get our scroll on. Washington giving up over 22 points per game and over 5 assists per game. That's good for about 27.5 PRA. That's good for about 27.5 PRA. So he's going to be right in there in the mix at that number. Let's pull up the points plus assists for Tyrese Halliburton here. We'll get you a projection on this one. I got him projected for 30.3 at the moment. At 27.5, he is a betting favorite at minus 125 and minus 135 odds. We're even getting minus odds for him to go over 28.5 points plus assists. on a site like FanDuel. So if they like it, some people like it over at 28.5 points plus assists, then we really should like it at 27.5. Andrew says, Tyrese has been doing me well this season. Well, then leave a thumbs up in the chat if you're liking Tyrese Halliburton at 27.5 points plus assists. I think it's looking good. For those of you who just now got here, here's what we've talked about so far. We got Trae Young at 36.5 points plus assists dialed up. We had Anthony Simons at 5 assists, taking the more on Anthony Simons. And there was one other guy that we were going to talk about. It's this dude, Jalen Brunson, at 6 assists, because he has hit 6 assists or more in 4 straight games. And tonight he's going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. So let's take a look at this one. This will be the last one, and then I'll start getting into your questions. Appreciate everybody for joining me this morning. Drop a like on today's live stream if I'm uncovering any gems, if I'm helping you in any kind of way, if you're getting value from today's show. Leave some love by dropping a like for me, and then we'll get to some of your questions, starting with my man, Everyday Fantasy, who left a super chat for us to take a look at. We'll definitely get into that for you. But anyway, we dialed Jalen Brunson down to 5.5, and that kind of lights up these green bars, right? 9 assists in game 1, 6 and 6, which would be a tie or a push based on today's number. And then 13 against the Charlotte Hornets. That game did go into overtime, so this number is a little bit inflated. But nonetheless, 6 or more assists in 4 straight games for the New York Knicks on Mr. Jalen Brunson. Now, another way that you could play Brunson, if you don't want to take just the assists, you could also look at maybe his points plus assists. He does get buckets. He does drop dimes. So I wouldn't be mad at you for taking the points and assists for Jalen Brunson. Where is he? Where is he? I missed him. Probably be easier if I typed it in, huh? Brunson, his points plus assists is at 23.5. So if you don't want just the assists, you could take the points plus assists. Let's look at the hit rate on those so far. Not quite as good. You lose some of that push factor, right? The ability to tie or push. But he's gone for 24, 23, falls short, death by hook, 27 and 40 in his last game against Charlotte. For me, I think I'll take the assists and hope that he gets at least 6 or more. But he's getting pretty good minutes here, 36, 28, 33, and 40. We'd like him to get 30 or more minutes tonight. I think he will against Milwaukee tonight. Got into a little bit of foul trouble against Orlando, but that did not stop him from getting the job done, landing on at least 6 assists. Taking a look at the DVP here, point guards versus the Milwaukee Bucks. How many assists are the Bucks giving up to opposing point guards? Well, pretty healthy number at 8.5 assists per game. So things are looking pretty good here. There's potential for upside for Jalen Brunson. And then if you want to look at the potential assists, we could dig into that. We'll switch this from the Portland Trail Blazers. We'll go to the New York Knicks. Click Get Stats. And when you scroll down, take a look at the potential assists here. Jalen Brunson leading the way for the New York Knicks at 13.5 potentials per game. So we need him to hit at least a 50% hit rate, right? If he hits it at 50% hit rate, he will be at like 6 to 7 assists, which is what we're hoping for on these 13.5 potentials. So leading the team in potential assists with 13.5 per game, averaging 8.5 actual assists per game. Let's get you a projection. And then we'll get to my man Everyday Fantasy Super Chat. Guys, if you want to guarantee yourself your question getting answered, your prop, you want me to do the research for you, leave a Super Chat. It helps support the channel. It allows me to continue making content for you guys, showing up here every day, doing these live shows, these live streams for you. Leave a Super Chat. It will guarantee that I look at your question, because there's going to be so many in here. You guys leave so many questions, have so many comments and remarks. It's hard to get to them all. But anyway, Jalen Brunson's projected for 6.7 dimes today. He's at 6.5 on the sports books. At 6.5, guys, they are betting the under, which is why we're getting him at 6 dimes. I think I'm going to stick to the assist here on Jalen Brunson. I'll take the more. Maybe it ties. Maybe it pushes. But I think I'm going to take the more on this particular one. So Tyrese Halliburton, Trae Young, Anthony Simons, and Jalen Brunson is the way that I'm going today. I'm going to just do a 4-pick. I'm going to make it a 4-pick for $25 to win $125, which is 5 times my money. All right. Flex Friday promo coming soon, probably. So if you want to hold off, Maybe you don't want to lock anything in yet. Maybe you want to see what the Flex Friday is going to be today on PrizePicks. I don't blame you. I'm going to go ahead and put this in before lines move. Boom. So we're in there. There you go. There's a little 4-pick flex. Guys, only do this if you agree with the picks. If you disagree with the picks, leave 1 out, leave 2 out, leave 3 out, leave 4 out, fade them all. I don't care what you do. It's your money. All right? Bet responsibly. All right, gang. Now to your questions. Appreciate all of you guys for being here. If you have questions, you want me to look at them, start leaving them for me. All right, I'm going to start with my guy here, Everyday Fantasy. He's been on a nice little hot streak. He's been on a nice little run when it comes to these super chats. First and foremost, I want to say thank you for the super chat. Thank you for supporting my content, supporting the show. Thank you for being a Patreon member as well, Don P. And putting in the work and sharing your findings and your results with the community. You are a valued member, my friend, and I truly thank you. All right, so he's liking a couple of sleeper picks. He's got Jeremy. Do you pronounce his name Saken? Sak-An? Or is it Sa-Chan? Sa-Chan. You guys let me know. Sa-Shan, maybe? I don't know. 9 points. Okay, he's liking the over, it looks like, at 9 points. We already talked about Devin Vassell, not going to be in there for San Antonio tonight. He's going to be in the starting lineup is Jeremy Sa-Chan? Sa-Can? You guys let me know how it's pronounced. But he's liking the over at 9 points. So let's take a look at that one for my man, Everyday Fantasy, a.k.a. Don Pizzle. Faux shizzle. Pull them up here using the handy dandy search bar on PrizePicks. You see that my man Saw-Can. You guys got to let me know. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to say it both ways. I'm going to call him Jeremy S. Jeremy S here is at 9 points. He's at 9 points on PrizePicks. You see what he's done in his last 2 games, both against the Timberwolves, 14 and 12 respectively. You guys have probably seen him out on the floor, right? He wears jersey number 10 for San Antonio. He's got the dyed hair, colored hair. It looks like Dennis Rodman, basically. It looks like Dennis Rodman's son. That's who this kid is. But yeah, 14 against Minnesota and 12 against Minnesota. So back-to-back games where he has gone over. You guys are saying it's so can. Everyday Fantasy says so can. Okay, so can. We can go with that. Maybe I was completely wrong and whiffed altogether. So can. If Don P, a.k.a. Everyday Fantasy, can take the over on this pick, so can you. Let's look at it together. Chicago versus San Antonio, gang. Pulling up his game logs here. First 5 games of the season, he's at 8.5 points by default when you use props.cash. If you want to get a more accurate depiction here, you could bump him up 1 notch. Now he's at 9. But 4, and I don't know how many points that is, but it ain't too many. Maybe 1 or 2. But 14 and 12 in his last couple of games. 14 and 12 in his last couple of games. So what has changed for this guy? Well, he's getting a little bit more run, a little bit more minutes. He had 27, 21, just 10.3 minutes played against Philadelphia. Comes back with 23 and 27. So overall, his 5-game average is 22 minutes per game. Field goal attempts have been all over the place, but they are up in the last 2 games. So there's no coincidence, no mistaking that his scoring is up because his field goal attempts are up, right? He's shooting the ball more. We expect him to score more. Shot it 8 times in game 1, was just 2 for 8. 2 for 4 in game 2, 0 for 3 in game 3. Comes back for 7 for 9 versus Minnesota, and then 5 for 13. I hope he takes double-digit shots tonight because that would be a good thing for us. 3-point attempts were definitely on the rise in his most recent game, shooting 6 of them, making 2. And then as far as free throw attempts go, has not really done a great job getting to the free throw line this season. So that's not going to be his game. But yeah, no Vassell means somebody's going to have to step up. Somebody's going to have to absorb that usage, those shot opportunities. And it looks like Jeremy Sokan, according to Everyday Fantasy, he thinks that Jeremy Sokan will be that guy to step up tonight. So he scored 14 and 12. We need at least 9 to tie, 10 for the over. Let's get you a projection on Jeremy Sokan. I appreciate the super chat, by the way, Don P. Let's keep your super chat hits going because you've hit in the last couple that you've left. So he's projected for 9.7 points at 8.5 points. Guys, you're seeing him on a couple different books. Not too many, but a couple books have him at minus 120, minus 125 betting odds to go over 8.5. So PrizePicks has bumped him up to 9 in preparation for him going over. But yeah, this should be a high scoring, up and down, fast paced game. There should be plenty of offense between both teams. So I am not mad at this one. I think I might actually take this one, Don P. I might have to take it, brother. You've been too hot lately. So there we go. Guys, if you have questions, hit me with those questions. I see High Flyer is talking about some Jason Tatum assists. Jason Tatum assists. We could peek at that one. Jason Tatum going to be at 4 assists, it looks like, today. 4 assists. He's done a pretty good job for most of the games that he's played in at 4 or more. We talked about that front court being kind of thin tonight. No Grant Williams. No Robert Williams. Obviously, no Danilo Gallinari. He's going to miss the entire season. So it's going to be Jason Tatum. It's going to be Al Horford. It's going to be Blake Griffin. It's going to be Noah Vonleh. That's probably the 4-man rotation. I would expect that maybe Tatum and Horford see the floor quite a bit. So let's look at this one real quick. You guys are wanting to go potential assists here. So let's look at, or you guys are wanting to go assists here. So let's look at the potential assists for the Boston Celtics and see who's been doing what. Jason Tatum is second on the team with 8 potentials per game, which means if he gets 8 potential assists tonight, we need him to convert on about half of those. 50% conversion rate would land him on exactly 4 assists tonight. He's averaging 3.5 assists for the season. So that's slightly below the 50% mark, right? But yeah, that's looking pretty decent. Pretty decent. I'm not mad at that one. Taking a look at the DVP here. He's going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tatum, I guess we can call him the power forward, right? I think that's fair. Taking a look at the assists allowed by the Cleveland Cavaliers to opposing power forwards. They're giving up about 3.5 per game. Wish it was higher, but all right. Doable. And then we'll pull up a projection for you on Tatum's assist. I got him projected for 4.2 dimes. He's at 4.5 out on your favorite sports books. And betting favorite to go under. Minus 135, minus 136 odds to stay under 5 assists tonight. So, might end up in a tie. Could very well push. Not the end of the world if it does, though, right? You don't necessarily lose. What else are we talking, guys? We got Joao. I don't know how you say your name, bro. Eduardo. Mr. Eduardo. We'll go with that. John Collins over 24.5 points plus rebounds. John Collins over 24.5 points and rebounds. I have not clicked any John Collins this season. Has he been getting the job done? I have not paid attention so much to John Collins, but we can talk about him. Let's go look at John Collins real quick. We'll have to use props.cash for this. Points plus rebounds. Atlanta taking on Detroit tonight. Looking at the last few games here for John Collins, he had 32 points and rebounds against the Houston Rockets, 36 points and rebounds against the Magic, just 20 against Charlotte, and then 30 against tonight's opponent, the Detroit Pistons. So 3 out of the 4 games, he has crushed this number against the Pistons. That's looking pretty darn good so far. You might be onto something here. So let's look closer at the Charlotte game. Why did he go under against the Hornets? I do not know. He played over 38 minutes in that game. More minutes than he's played in any of the other 4 games so far this season. Could not seem to get the job done despite an elevated amount of minutes. So maybe he just had a bad scoring night. Let's just look at the points on their own. Yeah, he had just 10 points against Charlotte. Despite playing 38.5 minutes, he shot poorly. 3 for 12, 25% from the field. 0 for 7 from beyond the arc. My man was chucking out there. Had 7 3-point attempts, didn't make a single one. Well, I'll be darned. That'll do it to you, huh? Going 0 for 7 from beyond the arc and 3 for 12 from the field. He came back and shot way less threes against the Detroit Pistons. Probably attempted a lot more shots closer to the basket. John Collins was probably feeling himself after going 2 for 2 against Houston, 3 for 4 against Orlando. He said, I got the green light. Let me shoot 7 this game. Unfortunately, he went 0 for 7. So hopefully John Collins if he's going to shoot that many threes, he's knocking down a couple of them. But yeah, that was the big issue. 0 for 7 from beyond the arc, and then just had a bad shooting game in general. Otherwise, he would have hit his points plus rebounds again. Let's look at the rebounds. Isolate the rebounds on their own. Yeah, he's been rebounding well. 8, 13, 10, and 11. No issues with his rebounds. He pulled in 11 boards versus the Pistons in the last game. So this could be a sneaky good play here. This could be a sneaky good play here. I'm not hating this one, actually. If he scores some more points, he's there. You know, he knocks down 2 of those 7 threes. He's at 26 instead of 20. So I like this. I ain't mad at that. Let's go look at the Detroit Pistons against power forwards real quick. We want to see how many points, how many rebounds they're giving up to opposing power forwards so far, right? 26.5 points per game. That's the 4th most points allowed to opposing power forwards to start the season. That's a pretty good number. 11.4 rebounds per game. So when you combine the two numbers, you're looking at around 38 points plus rebounds. 38 points plus rebounds for John Collins in this matchup. I like that. Looks like a very solid matchup. Let's get you a projection here real quick. Points and rebounds projections provided by Fantasy Labs. Looking at Collins, I got him at 26 points plus rebounds. That's more than 24.5 by 1.5 for you mathematicians out there. At 24.5, he is a betting favorite on all books, minus 120, minus 125. So yeah, we can get down with some John Collins. Let's hope he shoots decent. We don't even need a great shooting night. We just need a decent shooting night out of Collins. So yeah, I'm rocking with that one. What else we got, gang? Got about, I don't know, maybe 5 more minutes. I'll try to quickly knock down a couple more of these guys. If you have any hard-hitting, pressing issues or questions that you need to have answered, you got to leave a super chat because I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. There's just too many of them. And the 1 hour limit that I have here, there's just too many of them. Let's see. John Collins' rebound projection. Just rebounds on their own, 8.2. He's at 8.5 on the books, being bet under at 8.5, though. Under at 8.5. So there you go, John Collins. What else, gang? What else? Kale is saying his rebounds alone are better. Maybe you're right, Kale. Maybe you're right. Young Lito wants to know, do you think they would ever give us a shot attempts prop? Maybe. That might be fun. How many, shot attempts a guy might take? Maybe. They do, passing attempts for NFL? I could see them doing shot attempts. That could be a thing. Mike from the 4 says Jarrett Allen over points plus rebounds against Boston. So we talked about Boston being kind of undermanned, right? In their front court. Just Al Horford, Jason Tatum. Behind them, you got Noah Vonleh and you've got Blake Griffin, a couple of guys that we're not all that afraid of. So you're wanting to go points and rebounds for Jarrett Allen against Boston. I saw somebody liking the double-double. Somebody out there was saying that they like Jarrett Allen to go for a double-double tonight against Boston. So if you think he's going to be in double-double territory, then maybe the points and rebounds isn't a bad look. Let's go see what Jarrett Allen's been up to for points and rebounds to start the season. 23.5. All right, he's played 4 games. At 23.5, he has hit in his last 2 games with 29 against Washington. So that would be what? Kristaps Porzingis and Kyle Kuzma in the front court. And then against Orlando with Wendell Carter Jr., Paolo Banchero in the front court. Easy matchups, I would say, against Washington and Orlando. So I would expect him to hit. Little tougher time against the likes of Nikola Vucevic and Pat Williams in Chicago. The previous game was Pascal Siakam. Maybe Scotty Barnes. I don't know who you consider to be their power forward. But anyway, tougher matchups probably in games 1 and games 2. Easier matchups against Washington and Orlando. Now he's going against Boston tonight. Last season he played Boston just once. Had 19 points and rebounds. I think it's going to be a tougher time against Al Horford for Jarrett Allen tonight. It's just my inclination here. Easy game against Washington, easy game against Orlando. Taking a look at Boston against centers, we can see how many points and how many rebounds they've given up so far. They've kind of been shorthanded, has Boston, to start the season, right? So they're giving up about 22 points per game. Here's where they really shine. 18.2 rebounds given up to centers per game, which is the third most. Now, Jarrett Allen's rebound prop on its own is set at 10.5, so maybe you just want to go rebounds. I don't know if he's going to have enough points, but maybe you just take the rebounds against Al Horford and Jason Tatum. Maybe Jarrett Allen ends up cleaning the glass tonight and pulling in at least 11 boards. Let's take a look at his rebound chances real quick. Rebound chances, think again like potential assists, field goal attempts. Rebound chances are opportunities for a given player to haul in a board. So we're going to take a look at those real quick. Cleveland Cavaliers, click Get Stats. They've played 4 games. Jarrett Allen absolutely dominating the rebound chances for the Cleveland Cavaliers. 19.3 rebound chances per game. He's turned those 19.3 chances into 11.5 boards, and now he gets a team who's giving up the third most rebounds per game to opposing centers. So I think for me, I would probably leave the points and rebounds alone. I think I may just go rebounds solo dolo. Just go the rebound route on Jarrett Allen at 10.5, I think is where he was set. Why can't I ever find anyone here? Yeah, he's at 10.5 rebounds on their own. So I might prefer this route as opposed to going the points and rebounds. But you could go either way, all right? So let's look at both. Projections for both. Points plus rebounds. Jarrett Allen, he is projected for 24.6 points plus rebounds. 23.5 on the books. He's as high as 24.5 on some other sites. So you are paying the lower price here at 23.5. At 23.5, one site he's a betting favorite to go under, another site betting favorite to go over. All right, so when you compare it to like a book like FanDuel, you are getting 1 point of value on the points and rebounds. All right, and if we're looking at just rebounds on their own at 10.5, he's projected for 9.8. He is at 10.5 and even 9.5, but mostly 10.5. He's mostly at 10.5 on the books today. All right, well, seeing that we're getting more value on the points and rebounds, I think I would go more on the points and rebounds and stay locked in on that, because we are getting the lower price here at 23.5, so to speak. Whereas the rebounds are at 9.5 on some sites. So we don't like that if we're looking to go over on Allen. So yeah, stick to points and rebounds. That would be my final answer. Mike from the Fours. Jimmy Green says, y'all smash the like button for Chef Curry. Got to get back to work. Best of luck always. Thank you so much. Hey, and thank you for the new subs. I got Alvaro sub to the channel. Appreciate you subscribing. Guys, again, if you want to win a risk-free 2-pick to score $100 on PrizePicks, here's how you can do that. All right, we're going to start doing these daily. We've done them for the last couple of days. We've already had some winners. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you've liked today's live stream, the live show. And once the replay goes up, go down to the comment section, leave your favorite pick or prop of the day in the comment section. Not only can it help somebody else out, but that's how it gets you entered to win one of those risk-free 2 picks to score $100 on PrizePicks, all right? So make sure you guys do that. D'Angelo coming through. He's saying, what about RJ Barrett? Appreciate you, D'Angelo, for leaving that super chat. RJ Barrett first half under PRA. Well, let's go look at that. We'll make this the last one unless any final super chats or anything like that come through. Locks over likes. There are no locks tonight. What are you asking is the lock, or what are you saying is the lock? Jarrett Allen? Maybe Jarrett Allen for points and rebounds? All right. RJ Barrett first half under PRA. Thank you again for D'Angelo Sinning for leaving that, or D'Angelo Sinning, however you prefer to pronounce that. Let's look at my man RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett, 14.5 PRA is the magic number. You're wanting to go under, or you say he is going for less than 14.5 PRA. I got you. Okay. So he's had 10 in his last game against Charlotte, 6 against Orlando, 14 against Detroit, and 6 against Memphis. So he's gone under 14.5 points plus rebounds plus assists in 4 straight games. One thing that you could do to help kind of utilize StatMuse, help you with your research, you can go RJ Barrett first half, and then you can do PTS for points, plus sign REB, plus sign AST. So you got RJ Barrett first half points plus rebounds plus assists, and then you could go logs, and you can take a look at his game logs for first half points plus rebounds plus assists. Now, we already talked about it this season. He is doing a pretty good job of staying under. He has stayed under in all 4 games this season, 6, 14, 6, and 10. So things are looking pretty darn good for an underplay there. We know Milwaukee is a very tough team defensively. He'll be going up against the likes of Giannis, right? I don't know if Giannis is going to be guarding him or if he's going to be on Julius Randle, but still, Milwaukee overall, very tough team defensively. But then you can take a look at some of his games from last year as well. If you want to take this a step further, you can go RJ Barrett first half points, rebounds, and assists versus Bucks logs and just get an idea how he's done against the Milwaukee Bucks throughout his young career dating back to 2019. At 14.5, he has gone over in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games out of 9. So more often than not, he has gone over against Milwaukee. Played them 1, 2, 3 times last season and went over in 2 out of 3 games against the Bucks. Now, last season was last season. Jalen Brunson obviously having an impact here. His usage, I think, is pulling some usage away from RJ Barrett. Some shot opportunities, some assist opportunities have been absorbed by the newly acquired Jalen Brunson. I think RJ Barrett is feeling the impacts of that. So take these previous game logs against the Bucks, especially from last season, with a grain of salt, because it's a whole different situation this year with Jalen Brunson in town. I do not have any type of first half projections or anything like that. We can look at the DVP real quick for the Milwaukee Bucks and see how they've done against opposing shooting guards, which is what I would call Jalen Brunson or RJ Barrett, right? A shooting guard. They're giving up about 23.8 points, about 6.2 rebounds, and about 2 assists per game. So let's round that up to 24. Let's combine it with the 6 rebounds, call it 30. Let's add in 2 assists, so about 32. If we cut that number in half, it's about 16 PRA. I think I would lean toward the under, man. I think I'm with you on that. Let's ride the under on RJ Barrett or go for less than 14 first half PRA. Appreciate Rod133 for the sub, gang. It has been fun. Good luck on your entries. Our 1 hour time limit has come to an end. If you don't play on PrizePicks yet, make sure you do. Get the 100% instant deposit match. Promo code Curry, link down in the description. If you want to join the community, there's a link for Discord. Free Discord. We got bots in there. We got news channels in there pumping all the latest information, allowing you to do some on-the-fly research for your favorite props of the day for all sports that you can think of. All right. Free Discord. Link down in the description. I'm doing giveaways in there every Friday as well. And if you want to support the show, Patreon, $20 a month, get access to all the channels in Discord, get access to the entire community. I'm posting picks to Patreon daily. I'm posting helpful cheat sheets, things that will help you with your player prop research, all of that for just $20 a month. All right. And it helps support the channel so you can go home and go to sleep at night and feel good about yourself. And then last but not least, we're going to do one of those giveaways that we've been doing for the last couple of days. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and leave a comment on today's replay with your favorite prop. That's all you got to do. And you could win a 2-pick to score $100 on PrizePicks. Gang, appreciate all you. Good luck on your entries tonight, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.